Welcome everyone, it's Bill from cruisehabit.com. Out here a couple minutes late, ran into some holiday related traffic, and we are live now, however, just outside of Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Watching some ships sail away. We've got Celebrity Edge just outside of the port. We'll spin back around to show that in a minute. But right now we've actually got a Holland America ship that's going to be coming out right in front of us. We'll talk about the ships that are here today, and we can discuss some recent cruise news, answer your cruise questions, talk ship, anything you like. We're just happy to be out here and talking cruising with you guys. Annette, such a pretty day that there was a 20-minute wait to get into the park to do this broadcast. That's how pretty of a day it was. Good for those people. A little annoying that I missed it. But yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous out here today. Looking down because I can't find my second page of notes. All right, good times. I think it's in the car. Work with it. Michael Corretto, I told you last week. I still think in my head M Corretto every single time. I'm sorry we watch you from the street. Oh, you know what? That photographer's right there. But you're just offshore. We did watch you sail away, but missed for the video. Hope you have a fantastic cruise on Celebrity Edge. Celebrity Edge, by the way, along with Michael on it, heading out for 7 nights, going to Nassau, Costa Maya, Cozumel, and Grand Cayman. Yes, Grand Cayman back. We'll talk about that in just a minute. In front of us right now, however, is Holland America's new Statendam. She's a Pinnacle class ship, and I sailed her in her inaugural season. She's gorgeous. She has a bar that has over 100 types of whiskey. So, I'm on board. She comes in at 99,500 gross tons, 935 by 105 feet, and carries about 2,650 passengers. Brian, where are you a firefighter at? Michael, keeping tabs on the pilot force. I actually can see your pilot. Is that the pilot boat? Yeah, I see your pilot boat heading back. Now you can see just past the gentleman center of the picture there. New Statendam out in front of us. We're actually going to see two Pinnacle class ships sailing out today, so two almost identical ships from Holland America. New Statendam, however, is going for 10 nights to Half Moon Cay, Grand Turk, Puerto Plata, Bonaire, Curacao, and Aruba. I love the ABC Islands. Love, love, love the ABC Islands. So I will confess that I'm a little bit jealous of that. Tony Diaz, out of the 100 whiskeys, how many did I try? As many as I could. I'm going to guess at least 20. I could probably go back to my pictures and get some idea. Brian, firefighter in Henry County, Georgia, south of Atlanta. Fantastic. I always tell people I've had a lot of jobs. That is the only career that I still have dreams about, and in good ways. Always, the only time I dream about work is always good stuff from when I was a medic. Parker's on the go. Everyone, make sure you follow along. They've got some great content, and looking forward to actually chatting with them in an upcoming broadcast that we'll be talking about. Karen, got to get to the ABC Islands. So fantastic. You know what it is people lump them in. I do this myself as if they're just like three of the same place. No. They're each distinct and gorgeous and different than any place you've been. Bonaire is absolutely unspoiled. I mean, there's hardly anything there except water that is so clear it doesn't look like the ship could possibly have room to be in it. Great for diving. You have Curacao, which looks like Amsterdam, but in pastels. And then you have Aruba, which is an incredible resort town that has this really cool both beach and like arid desert landscape as well. Really enjoy it there. If it was up to me, I would be on there with you right now, Mr. Corretto. Brian, Harmony in 21 days. Where will I be? Let's see, 21 days. Because, it's all about me. I don't know, because I'd have to do math. But looking forward to your trip for you. I enjoyed Harmony with my mother a number of years ago. It was a great trip. Alan James, hello, my friend. Always good to see you. Thank you for hanging out. Thank all of you guys for coming. I hope the quality is better today. I know we've had some bandwidth issues lately because of spring break and all the people with phones. It's just tricky. It's another reason, actually, we're another minute or two late today. There we have Celebrity Edge over on the right and New Statendam closer in on the left. New Statendam, another neat feature on that ship is the Rolling Stone rock group, in addition to BB King All Stars and just the whole music set of music. There's like a better part of one deck, just separate music venues. So you can just go essentially from one concert to another. Fantastic. If you like live music, that is a great line to try out on America. Tripoli ovation to Alaska in 2 months. I want to get back to Alaska, especially candidly as I'm standing out here realizing how sweaty I'm about to get. We've got a couple more ships sailing out of Port Everglades today, but before they come out, and let me look around behind me before I find out that they are coming out, we'll talk about a couple things going on. And 11 months till your next cruise. Karen, I think you have enough time. You can start doing my notes for me, right? I need some help here. Where's Brandon Owen? He's supposed to be my notes guy. But Karen, if you're on land for 11 months, and I mean, what else could life possibly be offering you right now? One thing actually that I put out right before I left the house today is a brand new video talking about 7 do's and don'ts if you want to sail on Virgin Voyages. And Larissa and I both did that video because, and she wrote the article that's over on cruisehabit.com last week, because we realized a lot of people were asking us for advice about Virgin Voyages because we keep sailing and we have a great time with it. So we thought, geez, you know what? If people keep asking us these things, take some of what we've been asked and put some. Let me spin this around. See, I'm not wearing sunglasses. I again forgot a hat. But let's put some of that into a video so that maybe selfishly, so that I can stop repeating myself to friends and just be like, here's a link, check it out. So we've got a number of videos on Virgin Voyages. Check that out. And of course, if you want to join us on Virgin Voyages, then check out virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. We'll be setting sail in July and would love to see any of you guys there. In terms of cruise news, I will tell you that one of the big news things that we're looking at right now is, and I'm just going to kind of nip this in the bud because I'm sure that there's going to be all sorts of people talking about it over the next couple of days, is that I believe it was the Ruby Princess? Yeah, the Ruby Princess announced to guests on the current sailing that they needed to go back to wearing masks. And it's just for that, hopefully just for that, sailing just for that cruise, because they have some cases on board. Don't know how many, but it's kind of not surprising. This type of thing, I want everyone, if you're cruising, while things are, largely back to normal, I want everyone to keep in mind this type of thing because we're going to see things come and go like this. So Ruby Princess, okay, that's a small change they made for a little while, but I can tell you I've been on plenty of master cruises. Still wonderful to be on a cruise. Just, the one constant is change, right? We've got another ship coming over, so I'll get ready to swing the camera around and see what else I have here in my notes. Oh, and I need to pull a note off my phone because I left another one in the car. Last week we talked about Norwegian Getaway sailing, canceling their Baltic sailings because of the issues in Ukraine and with Russia right now. Unfortunate situation that obviously there are much more important things than cruising going on, but it does impact a lot of sailings, including Getaways. So they canceled those, all but a couple Baltic sailings at the beginning of season, I think in May, and they announced that June through, I believe, October, they're going to, NCL Getaway is going to be sailing out of Port Canaveral, doing 5 to 10 night Caribbean sailings. Caribbean is a nice default for cruise lines. There's a lot of ports, a lot of people willing to take them, so that's what they're doing. Michelle, need to be flexible during these times, but a little flexibility means a fantastic vacation. I've been a tiny bit flexible, and I've had a lot of great vacations this year, and you can as well. There's the Horn. I believe that's going to be the Rotterdam. If not, then my notes are real messed up. That means there's a ship that I don't know about here, which, has happened. Some of you may have seen that happen before. Looking away from the screen just a minute to pull up some notes. Rotterdam. So you're going to see that Rotterdam is going to look exactly like New Statendam. In fact, let's just play back New Statendam leaving. Save us some time. Coming up on Tuesday, the 29th, so in just a couple, 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel and likes on Facebook. And if you are, you may already have a reminder about this. In fact, you'll get additional reminders. We're going to do something new and special. We're going to hang out on the air, do a live broadcast with several other cruise content creators. We'll be hanging out with Cruising with JT, Anchors Anyway, NYC Rocks, Guga and Rob, and Parker's on the go. Parker's on the go in here right now, actually. Wave. That's them waving with a comment. Just believe it. And looking really forward to that. We're going to talk about, all of us were on Wonder of the Seas for the inaugural, for the Maiden, and we're going to talk about that. What were our impressions of Wonder of the Seas? You know, remarkable ship. Was everything 100% ready? No, but, you know, I'm curious to find out their opinions, actually, because I have my opinions on what that experience was like, even though certain things weren't 100% ready. And actually, I've written before about that over on cruisehabit.com, about maiden voyages and even full inaugural snow, that a maiden can be exciting, but a maiden can get pushed back, or you can have previews that go ahead of it. That happened when we were on Celebrity Edge. We sailed before the maiden, so people that thought they were booking the first may have been disappointed, but certain things sometimes may not be ready. Now, for me, I had a fantastic cruise. It didn't bother me at all, but I'm excited to talk with other awesome cruise content creators about that experience. So again, make sure you follow along, like us on Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll all be hanging out. Parker's on the go, Guga and Rob, who else? Cruising with JT, NYC Rocks, and Anchors Anyway. Hey, look. So see, Parkers are even listening. Not only are they here, they're listening. And JT, thank you. By the way, whenever John's here, I don't know whether to say John or JT. It's weird. It's kind of like when I'm hanging out with Justin, Jay from Ship Life. I don't know what name to use. So much pressure, but it's really exciting because those are awesome folks that put out some fantastic content, and I love getting different opinions from people that experience the same thing. We all look at things, you know, a little bit differently and different perspectives, and can point out things that, you know, each other missed or hadn't considered. So I'm looking really forward to that. And I hope all of you guys can join us again, 9 p.m. on Tuesday night. We'll be simulcasting across all of those channels that I just mentioned, including right here on Cruise Habit, YouTube, Facebook, and probably on Twitch and Twitter as well. Though I'm not sure that anyone actually watches me on Twitch. But if you are watching on Twitch, you know, come say hi. It'll be fun. See, JT, we need to have a conversation. We're going to need you to pick a name. This coming from someone whose name is either Bill, Billy, William, or Will, depending on who you ask. Oh man, Alan James Jones for Tamarin and Canaletto. Hopefully, Holland America will be in your not too distant future. Well, I hope you're damn correct. Yes, I was actually just talking about Tamarin a couple weeks ago when we were dining in. Izumi on Wonder, because I like going to Izumi. It's great. We actually had dinner with the head chef there, and that was really cool. Always a good meal there, but I thought, man, I'd love for them to expand and do like an Asian fusion kind of menu. And I actually brought up Tamarin as an example of where they're doing that really, really well. Mike Smith and Chris is presumably there, because I mean, you signed it, Chris, Mike, so it'd be disingenuous. I can't speak. You'd be lying. How's that? She wasn't. Miss you guys. They joined us. Mike and Chris joined us on the very first Cruise Habit group cruise on Celebrity Apex back in January, and we had a fun time. Loved getting to hang out with them. It was wonderful. Can't wait to do it again. If you guys want to see what our accommodations were like on Celebrity Apex, check out the S3 Sky Suite tour that we posted just a week or so ago over on the YouTube channel. And of course, we kept a daily live blog for that Apex group cruise. So you can see what we did each and every day and what it's like being on a Cruise Habit group cruise. Maybe some of you will join us for a future group cruise. Kathy, hello, hello. Speaking of joining us for future group cruise, no pressure. JT, what ships today we've got? So right ahead of us there was Rotterdam. And Rotterdam and New Rotterdam, sister ships, nearly identical. Rotterdam, I'll tell you the biggest difference right now. Rotterdam is heading off for 7 nights, New Rotterdam for 10. So, given the choice, then I'd go New Rotterdam. But Rotterdam's heading off for 7 nights, going to Half Moon Cay, Grand Cayman, Ocho Rios, and Key West. That means she's going to 2 ports that a lot of ships haven't had the opportunity to go to. Cruises only started returning to Grand Cayman about a week ago. And Key West, there's some stuff going on. Some lines still not visiting, some are. So that's pretty cool itinerary, actually, for those on the Rotterdam. Rotterdam, by the way, Princess Margaret of Kingdom of the Netherlands is the godmother of that ship and 4 other Holland America ships. But she's so new, and the launch was delayed because of COVID, so she actually hasn't had a naming ceremony yet. That's going to happen in the port of Rotterdam in May, I believe, of this year. Yeah, do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button, whether you're on the Spacebooks, as someone once said, Facebook, or YouTube, Twitter. I don't know what you do on Twitch. Really, I need to watch Twitch at some point. I'm streaming there, and I'm just clueless. I'm very bad at social media. Alan James, yeah, I love going to a Zoom. I often order off menu because just assemble kind of my own rolls and stuff like that. But I would love just to see some like fusion options. That'd be really, really cool. Parker's on the Go Celebrities, definitely on your radar soon. You're on Mardi Gras next month. I'm so jealous. I talk about it every time because it is true. I cannot wait to sail Mardi Gras. We visited twice for the day while she was in port. We're there for her naming ceremony, in fact, but we haven't got to sail yet for a couple reasons. It's just been a timing and a work thing. But that ship, there are only a couple times that I've ever seen a ship and said, this is something big. This is a change maker, right? This is going to move the industry. I said that when Edge first came out, and I think it's true, and I said that when I saw Mardi Gras, because there are just some very different things on Mardi Gras, some different concepts overall that are really cool. And in fact, in line with Mardi Gras news, we just learned that Carnival Celebration, sister ship to Mardi Gras, when she comes out, whereas Mardi Gras has some kind of New Orleans themes to her, which makes sense. Celebration is going to have a Miami theme, and that includes a venue called 820 Biscayne. That's also the address of Carnival headquarters here in Miami. It's going to be on deck 8 of the Carnival Celebration. Has an indoor-outdoor bar, I think coffee with a Miami theme, and looking really forward to that because I love Mardi Gras, but I'd like to see what she looks like kind of themed differently. I think that would be neat. Jubilee, I haven't heard anything about Jubilee, which could be that they haven't released anything about Jubilee. It could also be that I'm just a bad cruise blogger. Both are possible, because I still haven't written about Celebration. I need to do that. But I'm pretty excited. Katie Kendrick, welcome. We are ship watching. We've got Rotterdam out in front. Then we've got her sister ship, New Rotterdam. I'm pointing to the wrong place again. Got to look at the camera when I do that, or look at the screen. New Rotterdam over there, and somewhere off in the distance, probably behind New Rotterdam, is Celebrity Edge. She was the first one out. We just missed her by a couple minutes today, but she was pulling out as we got here and started up. There's still one more ship sailing out today. She's scheduled for 5 o'clock, but like everything I'm messing up today, I forgot my radio. So I don't know if she's dropped lines. I'll have to look back at my phone in a second, see what's going on telemetry-wise. But we've got lots to talk about until then, and as always, happy to answer your cruise questions. Wonder if Carnival, Alan James asks, will build a 4th and call it Festival. You sailed Festival many years ago. I like them bring back the original names. Man, I forgot you've been cruising for longer than I have. I think that's impressive. Yeah, I'd be a little surprised if they didn't, frankly, just because it seems like not only is Carnival doing that lately with a couple ships, but that's something that is popular. In fact, listen, New Rotterdam over there, just on the horizon, New Rotterdam is, I believe, the 6th Rotterdam ship. There have been both Rotterdams and New Rotterdams, N-I-E-U-W in Dutch, meaning new, because about 20% of Dutch looks like English spelled differently. You're not old. You've been younger for a long time. But yes, you're. I did not have the ability to cruise in 1978. Something about not being born yet. But you're not old. Oh, there we see all three. Actually, I just noticed. I don't know if you guys can see it there, but there's Edge, Rotterdam, and New Statendam. So yeah, a lot of cruise lines have been reusing names of older ships. We've seen Princess do that. In fact, um, several times. Um, Pacific Princess is just one that strikes me. I've been rewatching the Love Boat series. Actually, it's been many years, and it's fun to watch the original Pacific Princess on Love Boat. And actually, the original the show was filmed partially on sound stages, partially on Pacific Princess, but partially on another ship. I think it was a sister ship, and I can't remember the name of that ship. But maybe somebody in here can. Um, so yeah, we'll see. I again wouldn't surprise me if they did that for, I don't know, it would say festival. Uh, I don't speak French, and I'm not eloquent, so I'm not sure. What else do we have in the world of cruise news? I mentioned the cruise content creator chat. Guys, once again, please make sure you follow those awesome creators. Actually, if you head over to cruisehabit.com, the top post, other than the one that's pinned about the upcoming group cruise, please check that out as well, is has a little bit of information on the people that will be joining for that group broadcast on Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to see links to their channels, their accounts, a little bit about them, we'll be updating that later today with some additional bio info, but wanted to get that up. You can check that out again over at cruisehabit.com. Tony Diaz, not old, just vintage. That makes you sound very expensive and fancy. Maybe Island Princess? Maybe Island Princess. Oops, I'm tapping the wrong things here. I don't remember. That sounds right. So if you think that's right, I'm going with it. I'm going to turn this a little bit and see if I'm able to both read the screen and get far enough away to not look like I have crazy eyes. Well, that doesn't bode well. I already hit the wrong button. Let's see. Let me flip this camera. We'll see what happens. All right. See? Now, I need the chat just to be about this bigger because my eyes are much older than my birthday would suggest. Other cruise news stuff. This item is actually from last week, but wanted to mention it for those that hadn't heard, or because my broadcast last week had all sorts of technical problems. Because I think it is a big deal. Royal Caribbean sent an email to a lot of guests on upcoming sailings, including myself. We're going to be on Oasis of the Seas on April 7th, saying that they are going to, with 4 exceptions, allow now unvaccinated persons, so primarily kids, to go on to get off the ship without a ship-sponsored excursion. Previously, if let's say you were parents and you had an unvaccinated kid with you, you get off the ship, but had to go with a ship-sponsored excursion, a Royal Caribbean excursion. They've changed that policy as effective, I think, 6 days ago. So the exceptions are St. Lucia, Dominica, Barbados, and Falmouth. Not surprising, especially with Barbados, they've been very cautious with the reopening. However, they were one of the very first places to allow cruise ships back. They're on the very first cruise back on Celebrity Millennium in June of last year, and they've been very good to the cruise industry, also with some logistics. And I know Royal Caribbean is appreciative of that. I'm going to flip this so I can go read the comments without you guys seeing my eyeballs. Oh man, yes. So Kathy is talking about the about Ocean View, which, if for those who haven't sailed Celebrity, Ocean View is the name of their like buffet venue, and I personally think that Celebrity does their buffet better than almost anyone in terms of quality and variety. And I like that. Yeah, they'll have, in addition to just regularly, stuff's rotating. They'll have like entire stations, like, oh, today there's a falafel station. And I don't mean like, oh, they have falafel. I mean they'll have like 3 different types of falafel, 8 different types of hummus, and other accoutrements. It's really incredible, some of the stuff that they do in there. I'm a big fan. It's also on Edge series ships, the most aesthetically pleasing buffet venue of any ship. Let's see. Yes, there. The pizza also that you can get in the back of the Ocean View Cafe on Celebrity Edge is decent. I'll be honest, I don't think it's as good as the pizza on, let's say, Virgin or actually on Holland America, but it is so much better than Sorrento's, uh, in my opinion. Some people love Sorrento's, and that's okay. We can still be friends. Sorrento's being the pizza uh, place on Royal Caribbean. The new Giovanni's Italian, the new one, like Giovanni's Italian and Wine Bar, that setup like they have on Odyssey and like they have on Wonder, which I'm sure we'll be talking about on Tuesday with that big group. Their pizza is actually fantastic. It does come at a small upcharge, but I think it's like $7 for a pizza that'll feed two people. So I thought that was perfectly fair. Other announcements that came down in the last week or two. Norwegian Prima, a very different kind of vessel um, from NCL. She comes out later this year, actually pretty soon, but doesn't come to the U.S. until the end of the year. They announced that the godmother for that ship was going to be Katy Perry. Now, I was excited. I said, "Oh, Billy, I didn't know you really like Katy Perry." I've nothing for or against Katy Perry. I was just excited because usually when someone says a pop star's name, I have no idea who they're talking about. This time I did. So that was exciting for me. But I'm really excited about Norwegian Prima because it's completely different. It's the first build from NCL that was overseen or that from start to finish was under we'll say the guidance of Frank Del Rio, the CEO of Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings. Some of the other ships that came out during his tenure so far, they were already in the pipe, right? They were already planned or even built. So Prima is looking aesthetically very different. Looks a lot more like some of the Oceania Next kind of redone ships from Oceania in terms of the palettes and some of the textures. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Also notable, I like to talk about the passenger crew ratios and passenger space ratios on ships. And that's kind of like a Billy Nerd thing that I brought up a lot when you talk about the different experiences, how crowded a ship feels, level of service as you move through the market and go up market. But now some people are talking about it a bunch. Why? NCL Prima is going to be quite different. That ship is going to have a higher passenger space, passenger crew ratio than most ships in the contemporary space. So that's a big deal because cruise lines in general, they want to put any, they want to make money, right? They're businesses. So any space they see, how can we generate revenue from the space? And that often means staterooms. So you end up with less favorable ratios, especially as you go to the contemporary market, the NCLs, the Royal Caribbeans, the Carnivals of the world. So it's a big deal, and I'm looking forward to checking out Norwegian Prima. We are booked on Prima when she comes over to the U.S. And who knows, maybe Katy Perry will be there, and I'd be like, "Oh my God, Katy Perry, it's so cool to meet you." And she'd be like, "Oh, thanks for being a fan." I was like, not really. I just know who you are," and that made me happy for a change. Insight into me knowing nothing about pop culture. Katie, agreed, nothing compared to real New York pizza. I would say second to that is South Florida, and some people from New York will hate me. People from Orlando don't get it because I'll be honest, Orlando does not have great pizza. But South Florida, we have some decent pizza, and I think it's because the people from New York semi-retired make their pizza down here. I didn't realize that growing up, and then I tried pizza at other places in the United States, and I was like, something is very, very wrong with all of your pizza. Anchors anyway. Hello. Guys, make sure you subscribe to Anchors Anyway. You can find their bio over in that article I was talking about that on cruisehabit.com, right up there at the top. For the content creator chat, we got to come up with a better name for that. But when we're all going to talk ship, a bunch of cruise content creators, we're going to talk ship about Wonder of the Seas, our experiences on Wonder of the Seas on Tuesday at 9. So, yeah, make sure perhaps during this lull, as we wait for, is it Allure of the Seas? Yes, Allure of the Seas to come out. If you guys have a second device, don't sign off now. Do me that favor, stick around right now. But if you have a second device and you want to go check that out and follow along with all of those accounts for all those awesome people that we're going to be broadcasting with, that's Cruising with JT, Anchors Anyway, NYC Rocks, Guggen Rob, and Parker's on the Go. I'm just looking down to see if I accidentally closed the app. Very good job, Billy. Looking to see if Allure is still tied up. She's not scheduled to leave for another 9 minutes. I feel like the way to predict when ships are going to leave is if I'm running late, they will be leaving um, early. So, like, if I would have been here on time today, if there wouldn't have been traffic on the way here, rest assured, all those ships would have been very late. That's right, Tony. I forgot you're going to be on Oasis of the Seas with us. Very cool. Looking forward to hanging out and talking ship in person. Guys, I'm always happy to share what sailings I'm going to be on when. Sometimes I don't cement those plans until the last day, so I apologize until the last moment. But trying to get better about that will be. I'm actually going to put up a post very soon because I've got 2 reservations to finalize for the next several months, and then my August-September plans as well. So I'll be putting a post, putting those up, because I'd love for you guys to cruise with me. We're actually working on something like on board with Billy kind of thing. So if you're cruising, whether you plan it or not, and I am on board, especially, I'd love to hang out. No matter how you book, I'd love to hang out. But I want to also be a liaison if you book with our travel partners in case there's anything that we can do to help you on your cruise. So those will be those Billy on board sailings. But of course, there's that group cruise. Once again, Virgin Voyages, groupcruise.com, July 3rd. On Scarlet Lady, and I'm so excited. I'm excited for every cruise. I'm excited. So here's the thing. I can tell you why. It's not just like, oh, Billy just acts enthusiastic about cruising. No. It's that on April 7th at Oasis, I'm excited, partially because cruising with friends is always fantastic, but I'm excited because I just got off Wonder of the Seas. Now I'm going to get to see like the first Oasis class that's been redone. So to compare and contrast, that will be really cool since such a short time. I've got Caribbean Princess is going to be coming up in a few months. I've never been on that class of ship from Princess. I've only been on one Princess sailing so far, and that was Sky Princess, actually. Discovery Princess, by the way, just had her maiden over on the west coast of the U.S. Scarlet Lady, I'm always excited for Scarlet Lady because I just think their products are cool. And every time we've sailed, it's been a little bit different because they're so good at listening to guest feedback. And then later in the summer, we're going to be doing a river cruise, our very first river cruise. So I haven't been to Europe in several years. That's awesome. And I've never done a river cruise. So there's, I do these things because there are specific things that I'm really stoked about. And I want to share that with you guys. So if you're ever on board with me, whether it's on purpose or on accident, please say hi, come hang out, talk ship. That would make me happy. Brandon Weekend Cruise will be there too. Oh, very good. Awesome. I did not know that. Yeah. It's funny. I tried to get better about booking last minute, like before COVID, right? And I had all these sailings lined up for a year and a half, maybe more. And it was the first time that I had so many lined up ahead of time. Like I was like, I'm really planning this time. And then COVID happened and they all went away. I was like, or I'm just going to keep doing it last minute. It's one of these do as I say, not as I do. You should book farther ahead because generally speaking, you'll pay a lower price and you'll get the room you want that way. But yeah. Katie, you have a specialty dinner from your travel agent who's on Discovery Princess in June. Any suggestions of a good restaurant? So on Discovery Princess, I believe the specialty restaurant lineup on Discovery Princess is the same as on Sky Princess, if I'm not mistaken. So it's interesting because if I don't know how, like what type of credit, if it's just like one meal at any of the places or if it's a certain dollar amount, but the sushi, and I can't remember the name, but the sushi place that's in the piazza atrium area is a la carte and can be pretty inexpensive. So I'd probably avoid using credit there. They do have their and I'm blanking on the name right now, but their specialty Italian restaurant. I thought the number of options and service were overwhelmingly good there. That was really nice. And truly, the food was good, but it was the experience that I thought was really nice there. In fact, we dined there twice on Sky Princess. You can check out the live blog for that. Then there's the I'm having name problems with Princess all of a sudden today. I'm sorry, guys. I believe it's Alfredo. No, there's the pizza place, but that's another one that's relatively inexpensive. So if you're going to try that, you're just paying for a small pizza, and that I actually like for lunch. So I'd go for either their steakhouse or that specialty Italian restaurant. And I'm seeming like a really bad cruise vlogger right now because I don't remember the names of any of the restaurants. I am so excited for the river cruise as well. Got to take a drink of water real quick, guys. There's a cool breeze, but hot sun here. It's really nice. And I'll tell you, what's been interesting with planning that river cruise is that I went into this going, well, I don't know anything about river cruising. I know that I don't know about river cruising. If you said 6 months ago, 3 years ago, say, Billy, what can you tell me about river cruising? You'd be like, I know it's different than ocean cruising. I know that things tend to be more included, especially excursions. You get right in the heart of town when you dock, which means that sometimes you can have a really short stop, but it's still beautiful because you just pull right up in the city center. All those things I'm familiar with. I know things can get interrupted because of water levels. However, if you said, okay, well, what else? What should I know about river cruising? What are the differences between the river cruise lines? I'd say, hang on, I gotta go ask my travel agent because I have no idea. I had no idea, and I'm learning. So it's been actually really cool because don't get me wrong, I'm like the luckiest person I know. I get to go on all these cruises and experience all these things, and share it with you guys. It truly never gets old. However, it was really cool all of a sudden going in like this is all brand new to me because it was. It was like getting to take a first time cruise, and I never really got to do that because I grew up cruising. So I don't even remember my first cruise, right? So the whole thing, just from the research part, and I'm sure it's going to be right through to the entire experience, is going to be so cool that I get to do something like that for the first time that's so completely different for me. And I love going to Europe. I used to go to Europe more frequently for work and for trips and for vacation and whatnot. And I haven't in a long time, so that part alone will be wonderful. Larissa's only been a couple times, so I'm sure she'll enjoy as well. She's really excited about it. Katie, I'm waiting to solidify the details before I share, but it'll be on the list. I will tell you that it is almost certainly going to be on the Rhine. I'm pretty sure I know what line and I know the time, but I'm waiting. I got to figure out um, the exact date, and I keep saying that I should do that this weekend, and I didn't. And yeah, but as soon as I have that cemented, I will share with you guys. Going on Viking Christmas 2023, doing Christmas markets. I wanted to do a Christmas markets cruise. Actually, that's kind of how this started. Is Larissa and I were talking, saying we haven't been to Europe in a while. Let's go to Europe this year. And we talked about doing Christmas markets. We weren't even thinking about doing a cruise at that point, like a river cruise, to be honest. We're like, well, maybe we'll just do a land trip. Maybe we'll do a short ocean cruise while we're there. Who knows? And we started looking into it, and then we're like, I always talk about why cruising is better than land trips, right? Because just logistics, you don't have to pack and unpack and stuff. So river cruise kind of makes sense. So then we started looking at Christmas market river cruises, and unfortunately the dates just didn't align for us because when we get to the end of this year, between Norwegian Prima, between Celebrity Beyond, um, Carnival Celebration, we've got all these plans toward the end of the year, and the Christmas markets cruise for this year just wasn't going to line up. So we're like, all right, scratch that idea. But now we like this river cruise thing. So that's when we started looking at other river cruise options. But hopefully, whether it's next year or some other time, I'd still like to do the Christmas markets thing because I'm a person that doesn't really celebrate any holidays. Like I don't know, just don't. But I love like Christmas, like lights and like the ambiance, if you will. And especially like throughout Northern Europe, a lot of the food items associated with Christmas. So I think it'd be a lot of fun and something neat to do. So, Katie, you'll have to report back and tell me all about it, and tell me what I should or shouldn't do. I'm gonna look to you for the advice for that trip. Taking a look out here to our east. It's always fun doing this, knowing that like just barely out of view is Bimini, like somewhere over there. Uh, it's only about I think 46 miles. I don't remember. It's in some of my videos. I mentioned it because I looked it up. What a beautiful day out here. The breeze is such, I'm actually not sweaty, and I thought I was going to be sweating. Right as I say, what a beautiful and serene day. I hear a jet in the background. I don't know if you guys heard that. That was funny. So we're just waiting on Allure of the Seas, and then I'll look back and see what else I have in my notes to talk about with you guys. I did, like I mentioned, put out just today before coming out here a video, and we've got a matching article. So if you like watching videos, great. If you like reading articles, you can take it in that way. 7 do's and don'ts for cruising Virgin Voyages. So check that out. That would be awesome. Allure of the Seas looks like she's still docked, but it's 5:01, so hopefully there's no delay, and she'll be out of there any moment. By the way, if anyone's looking on Marine Tracker or any of those, you'll see Radiance of the Seas is in port, but Radiance is not sailing from Port Everglades today. At 10 o'clock, however, she will be moving from Terminal 2 to, I think, a different one. I don't remember. One of the ones, I think, in the Intercoastal Waterway, because Terminal 2 is generally used for Princess and stuff, so I think she was just there to be out of the way today for Sailaways. Yeah, the focus is off now. Okay, I thought that was me. Is that better? Did I magically return that to looking okay? Guys, if while we're waiting for Allure of the Seas, and I go back to some of the other cruise news that we haven't talked about just yet, make sure you do click like, no matter which platform you're watching on right now. And if you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, you can of course chat with us, and we'll put your chats up on the screen. Only the positive ones, like this from Kathy. I'm just going to keep that one in the bank, no matter what happens. I'm going to be like, better. They're like, thanks. Where'd my notes go? Let me see. There we go. Very disorganized today. Should have had more coffee before coming out here or something. 27 watching, 19,000 watching Ultra. I mean, you know, one of those things is very repetitive to me, at least. How's it going? Man, I actually thought about going down to Port Miami this weekend. I was going to get on a ship. I was going to get on a ship to do some filming. And then I realized that Ultra was this weekend. And I thought, no, I'm cool, actually. Though I don't know where it is anymore. Years ago, it used to be over at, was it the Biscayne Amphitheater? Somewhere. It was by the park. Ultra, for those that don't know, is a giant electronic music festival. I mean, mammoth. And they haven't had it in 2 years. So this year, I'm sure, is going to be even crazier. And I was actually on, I think, an Oceania ship, and Ultra was going on, and I was on the ship in port at Miami, and we could hear it. That was a long time ago. Oops. Karen, so was it at Bayfront? That's what I was thinking. Like I said, I don't know if it's still there, or you may know better than I do. I just live here. I don't pay attention to what goes on. Temperature. I'm going to get you the full weather lowdown. Let's see. So right now, where I am, it's 79 degrees. Feels like 79. It is sunny. I mean, I just looked all around. I don't see a single cloud in the sky, and it is really lovely. Where's the humidity? The weather thing looks different than it usually does. Air quality index is good. That's nice. Pollen only moderate, so you guys only have to put up with a small amount of sniffling from me today. But it didn't feel too humid out here today either. And the breeze is cool. That's the biggest difference. Is usually if it was 80, I'd be sweating like crazy out here. But there's a really nice and cool breeze, which is lovely. So no complaints from me today, because I know how much everyone who's watching from St. Paul likes it when I complain about the weather here. Oops. Okay. Are they still renovating the building on the right? You mean this building over here? What's this called? What is this one called? I know that building name. I didn't know that they're renovating it. I actually, not like a close friend, but I actually do know someone that lives in that building. Should probably go visit them. What is it called? And of course, it's not coming up on Google Maps. Everglades house, is that it? Or is it a different one? I didn't notice that they were doing anything. 2 inches of snow in upstate New York. 0 inches of snow here. There are several inches of sand. And I mean, I don't know. Do you guys know how inconvenient it is to have to shovel sand? Right? Crimea River. Crimea Stranahan River. That is the Stranahan River right there on the other side of that jetty. 39 in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm sure there's a good reason to be in Omaha, Nebraska, Karen. It's probably to visit you. I don't know anything about Nebraska, actually. And blustery. I love the word blustery. Partially because associations with Winnie the Pooh. Guys, thank you guys for hanging out. Still waiting on Allure of the Seas, the fourth and final cruise ship to be leaving Port Everglades today here in Fort Lauderdale. Make sure you follow along cruisehabit.com on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got new content over on the website as well, cruisehabit.com, including a teaser of the upcoming video we're going to be doing with several other content creators on Tuesday night. Excited about that. The weather, Michelle, the weather is perfect today on vacation in South Florida. You live in New York. Listen, eventually what happens with a lot of New Yorkers is you keep coming on vacation here and then you just stay. And about 10% of you open up delis or pizza places in Boca Raton, and I appreciate that 10%. Like, truly. Yeah, the sand shoveling, it never ends. I mean, you ever see when it builds up on your car? You know, and then you have to get up early before work and scrape the sand off your car. Actually, that does happen in hurricanes, but at that point, your car is just totaled. Yeah, something of the, yes, you're right. Something of the Americas. You are correct. Um, they're redoing the balconies. Huh. I'll have to take a zoomed in picture. I didn't, I do, I don't have the best vision, I'll confess, but I'm looking at the building on the left that's kind of behind it. It does look like they're glass balconies, whereas I feel like I might see railings on that. So, okay, I got you. Now I understand. Glass, anytime a building retrofits and does the glass balconies on a building here in South Florida, I get nervous because it's an irrational nervousness because several years ago, they were doing that to a building and a hurricane came through and giant sheets of glass that were stacked up on the roof of a building awaiting installation were flying off and falling into the street. James Colgrave. Going on adventure in 45 days doing Eastern Caribbean for the first time. Any suggestions for excursions in St. Martin, San Juan? I'll tell you my favorite things to do in each of those places. Let's see. Variety. We're going to flip the camera around as I talk. My favorite thing to do let's start with San Juan. So in San Juan, personally, it's just personal preference, I like to get in a cab right at the port and have them take me up to El Morro, the fort right there up at the top. And sometimes we go in, sometimes we don't. If you haven't, please check it out, even if you only spend a couple minutes there. It's not crazy expensive to get in, and it's a national park, so when you pay for that, you can also get into like 2 other national parks that are very close by. And walk around, it's a neat fort. You get to learn a little bit about the history, and there are some fantastic views from the top. Now, Old San Juan, where you dock, because when you visit there on a ship, you dock in Old San Juan. When your cruise starts and ends there, it's across the bay. So dock in Old San Juan, it's a hill, and at the top is El Morro. Take your cab up there, and then you just walk down back to where the ship is. It's a historic area. There are some really pretty buildings, a lot of neat Spanish architecture, and a ton of bars and restaurants, as well as wonderful places just to take in the views. Then when you get down to the bottom, you can go to, I believe they're called Princess Gates. I think that's it. Something like that. Princess Point, Princess Gates. And it's a wonderful place to watch the sunset. I posted a picture of that, I think, on Instagram a couple weeks ago when we were on Wonder of the Seas. And then also down at the bottom, if you like cats, walk around the base of kind of the old wall part of the city and fort there, because there are a bajillion cats. So I know that doesn't sound exciting, but it is a beautiful city, and I really like doing that in St. Martin. In San Juan. In St. Martin, different place, in St. Martin, so you probably know there are 2 different sides of St. Martin. There's the French side and the Dutch side. You will dock in Philipsburg, St. Martin, which is on the Dutch side. If you want to go to the French side, by all means, head over to Marigot. There used to be a lot of cool little bakeries and stuff there. It's recovered more slowly after some hurricanes had several years ago, and I'm sure COVID didn't help that. But it is lovely over there, some wonderful folks. If you do go over to the French side, just know the traffic can be bad, so build in plenty of time, talk to a cab driver, talk about what time you're coming back, planning to come back. That way you plan accordingly. Um, Personally, what we've been doing lately is because I've been to St. Martin a whole bunch, I've done a few of the excursions over time. I just like going to, there's a place, a hotel called the Holland House. It's a place that we stayed at when we went on our Celebrity Millennium cruise in June, the very first cruise back in the Caribbean. And Holland House is right in the middle of Great Bay Beach. So when you dock in Phillipsburg, St. Martin, you're going to look out and there's a big crescent bay, a beach, and it's a lot of restaurants, hotels, shops, and stuff. A little touristy, but it's a very pretty place. And what I like about Holland House, one is the location. You can walk there, you can take a cab, but for like $5, you can pay for a round trip. I think it's $5. Pay for the they call it a water taxi. It's a ferry that runs every few minutes. I think it's $5 round trip, $7.50. It's not much, and it'll take you to the dock that's just a couple hundred feet away from Holland House. And you head over to that hotel. They have some of the best food and drinks any place in St. Martin. Everyone that I've ever asked on the Dutch side says, "Oh, the restaurant. I forget the restaurant name, but it's down in the downstairs outside of Holland House. Oh, that's the best place to get food." And we loved it there. Great service. You can hang out at the bar. If you want, you can pay, I think it's $25 over there, and you'll get 2 drinks, use of a lounger, use of 2 loungers, an umbrella, and they'll give you tokens for there's an outdoor shower just to clean off before you head back to the ship or to cool off, whatever you want. Those would be my recommendations. Happy to answer specifics for other stuff in those ports because there are lots of other things to do. Those are just kind of Billy's these are the easy kind of chill hangout things that I like to do in San Juan and St. Martin. You ask yourself why you're still there too. If it wasn't for your family, yes. If it wasn't for my family, I don't know. My family mostly here. Some in Illinois. Nothing personal against Illinois. I'm not going to Illinois, so I'm here. Got to stay near the cruise ports and the airports. James gonna be in St. Martin August on Harmony. Totally going to Holland House. Thanks for the recommendation. Awesome. Tell them I sent you. I don't get any kickback or anything. I just like to make sure that they know that we appreciate them. The owner is a very nice guy, and the managers are everyone there is so wonderful. Tori is a bartender that you should ask for. Tori, like the political party, that Tori. He's such a nice guy, and he works usually the outside bar. Kathy, man, I have wonderful viewers always reminding me to do the right thing. I appreciate it. If you're enjoying the stream today, hit the like and subscribe button, hit the bell so you're notified when I go live, and it'll give me a thumbs up. That would mean the world to me, guys. This is a labor of love, and I want to keep building the channel so that I have the time and ability to do more stuff, to cover more. Like when I put out these ship tours, put out a couple ship tours recently, including one hyperlapse tour. I want to see how that went on Odyssey. And the good news is, if you want to see Odyssey of the Seas and you have 7 minutes, that tour is great. The bad news is, someone's like, hyperlapse made me a little nauseous. So, take your Dramamine. But gives me the opportunity, when you guys like and subscribe, to do even more things, to share more with you. And as you've seen in the last few weeks, we're going more and more in the direction of video, because who doesn't like watching videos? Thank you. I appreciate that, Alan, and you will appreciate the service you get from those fine people at Holland House. Personally, I keep saying we're going to go in the off season when it's just less expensive, candidly, and just spend a couple days again at Holland House like we did. We spent a few days there before our Millennium Cruise, because it was just lovely. We ended up working from there for a couple days, and the whole downstairs of the hotel is a breezeway, so it's outdoors but kind of indoors. And I just sat over at the bar and worked, and it was absolutely excellent. Let's check the status of Allure of the Seas, our final ship, or as airlines would say, last and final. Don't understand why they say that. It's redundant, but they do. This is the part where my phone works. No? Yeah, still says tied up. I guess Allure running a couple minutes late today. We'll give her a little while longer as long as you guys want to hang out. If anyone has any cruise questions, let's talk ship. I should go back to my list and see what I missed. James Colgrave, no problem. Happy to help. Again, there are lots of other things to do. There are exciting things to do in both of those destinations. Historical things to do. I kind of mentioned a little bit of historical stuff for San Juan. Those are just like my easygoing kind of things. Those are things I like doing when I go to those places. How do I keep losing which pocket I put notes in? Trying again. Here we are. What else do we have to talk about? Oh, if this is another one from last week, but if you guys haven't checked out yet, I did put an article about Celebrity Beyond Entertainment, and I'm really excited. Celebrity Beyond is the third Edge series ship, and you guys know I love the Edge series ships. They're beautiful, truly innovative, actual game changers. I mean it. But Beyond is really different than the first two. She's not only like 9% larger, but she has an additional specialty restaurant, a completely redesigned retreat sun deck, a completely redesigned sunset bar, a completely redesigned rooftop terrace. There's more shade, more space. It looks nicer. I can't wait. There's even like little infinity pools, I think, over at the rooftop garden. So anyway, I say all that because Celebrity did release some information about the entertainment, and one of the things that I found so revolutionary on the Edge series when that ship first came out was the entertainment. And so I'm really excited to see what they're doing with it on Beyond. I cannot wait to see Beyond myself. But you can check out, we've got some information, not only from Celebrity about the entertainment on Beyond, but where I talk about what I liked or what I thought was interesting, or what I was looking forward to relating to those things. And of course, we have a lot of content from Wonder of the Seas. Did a few videos while on board and a couple articles, including one article where I talk about even though I'm a small ship person, why I like Wonder of the Seas. And I think what's important to keep in mind there is that, as I often say, every single ship has something to offer. Every cruise line has something that they do better than all of the others. So maybe you are a big ship person. What I would like you to keep in mind when you read that article about Wonder is, hey, that means I should probably check out some things that aren't just mega ships, because these ships are so well designed. These lines think things out so well that they really have a lot to offer, even if you don't think it's exactly what you're looking for. So you might be missing out if you stick to just one thing. I know some of you watching are these folks that, you only cruise one cruise line. Especially, there are a lot of Royal Caribbean folks like that. Royal Caribbean is a great product. Branch out, guys. There's so many great things out there in the world of cruising, and I want you to experience them. I'm about to experience some brand new things. In fact, 2 new cruise lines this year, at least 2. Who knows? One being, oddly, Margaritaville at Sea, actually, coming out at the end of next month. Later this week, I'm actually going to go to Margaritaville, the resort in Hollywood, Florida, and hang out with the Margaritaville people to learn a little bit more. So if I find out anything interesting, I'll be sure to pass that along to you guys. And then April 30th, definitely. I might also be on April 29th, looking at schedule stuff. We're going to be on the maiden voyage of Margaritaville at Sea, which is, they kind of transformed the brand for Bahamas Paradise, which does 2-night sailings from Palm Beach to Freeport. And they're doing a like Margaritaville resort, but on a ship. So we're going to be doing that on the 30th. And that's going to be really cool, just to do, again, something different. That's why I say, even if it doesn't seem like it's your thing, check it out, because all these companies have something really neat to offer. Just checking down at the phone again as I fill airtime here, waiting for Allure of the Seas. I really want to see Allure of the Seas sail today, partially because I always like showing off ships that are leaving, but also because Allure of the Seas is the very first Royal Caribbean ship that I ever sailed on. So I've been cruising since I was a little kid, since 1983. But it wasn't until I think 2016 maybe that I sailed on Royal Caribbean, and that was on Allure of the Seas. So it's always exciting for me to see that ship again for that reason. Nothing, nothing that says serenity like a helicopter flying overhead, right? Just out here. Man, what a pretty day. Woo! As I nearly dropped the whole rig. All right, still no movement yet on Allure, but we'll keep hoping that she sails out soon. Next weekend is also an event called Cruise 360. Cruise 360 is a an industry event that is it's it's for everyone from travel agents to people that work for cruise lines. In some cases, work yeah, in certain cases work for suppliers or other vendors. But it's a big industry event, and it is held in Fort Lauderdale every year. I don't remember. I think last year they just did it virtually. I don't remember anymore. But yeah, looking forward. That actually starts on Wednesday. I know I'll be there for some of the weekend events. I'll be there for some of the weekday stuff, especially in the evening. That's part of the Margaritaville at Sea thing I mentioned that I'm going to get to meet with some of the Margaritaville at Sea folks and learn more about that project, that ship. So I'm excited to see what comes out of Cruise 360. If any of you guys are friendly with any travel agents or cruise line employees, I'm sure they'll be watching or maybe even attending that event in Fort Lauderdale. And in fact, conveniently, I think I should look at the address. I should look at that before I drive there. Usually in the past, it's actually been at the convention center. Some of the stuff has been at the convention center that's almost co-located with the port. It almost butts up against the Princess and Carnival terminal. Sorry, just getting alerts over here to make sure I'm not missing anything. So yeah, we'll see what comes out of that this weekend. Alan James sailed on Allure of the Seas in the Mediterranean. So let me ask you, I have a question about that actually. When you sailed on Allure in the Med, did you pick Allure because the timing and itinerary was right and it happened to be on Allure, or did you want to go on Allure? Because I've always felt like, especially though not exclusively for those of us in North America, Med sailings are so much about the itinerary and the destinations that I've always said, you're not going to spend as much time on the ship or pay as much attention to the ship compared to if you were on this is just me now, like full on pacing around my tripod as it happens. So you're like, who's that guy? It looks like Billy. Compared to on a Caribbean sailing. So what made you choose Allure in that case? I know when did the Med on Oceana Marina, for example. And Marina, I remember Marina being beautiful. And that's about all I remember. Because, you wake up in the morning, you have breakfast, you go ashore, you spend the whole day ashore, you come back at the last minute, you shower, you have dinner, and then you go to sleep and you do it all over again. What it made me realize is really time to, for me personally at least, I want to pick the ship in the Caribbean and I want to pick the itinerary in the Med. And that applies to others as well. It might apply in the Baltic, depending on your itinerary. Sometimes you have a lot of sea days in the Baltic, depending on where you start from. Depends, but same idea. Allure on the move, fantastic. Refreshing on my other display here. Yes, I see you're making a speedy half knot backing into the turning basin. So we'll see here. Alan, it was a There we go. It was a large group, so you didn't get to choose a ship. Okay, fair enough. And again, I'm not saying that's a bad choice. If anything, I'm saying like any ship is a good choice in the Med. But yeah, when somebody else is doing the planning, you go along. But where we have very democratic planning of groups. Yes, I'll do all the legwork for you guys. I'll do the hard stuff. But if you want to have a vote about what we're doing on a group cruise, if you want a part of the action and you don't want to just be dragged around, come hang out with us, virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. See, that was such a smooth segue. Nobody even noticed that it was a plug. I'm sure nobody even noticed. That was really great. It wasn't. I would like to do a charter someday, just to see what a charter is like, because I've been with groups. I'd like to see a charter one day. There's one in particular in Allure I would really like to do. My problem with charters is always that the ones that I've looked at least, the price point is so high compared to. I go, wait a second. So you tell me I could go on the same cruise like the next week, and it'd be half the price? Well, that sounds good. Um, Whereas with a group, often you're getting a better deal, right? You book with a group, whether it's virginvoyagegroupcruise.com, another plug, but you book with a group like that or any other group, and generally you're going to pay the same price, maybe less. You're going to get some additional cash to spend on board. You're going to get some additional perks, incentives, stuff like that. Uh, but one day I will try a charter. One day. Adam, hello again. Counting down till next week, leaving on Rotterdam. Going to be out next weekend. Uh, I think the answer is probably not, unfortunately. I have some family stuff that needs to be attended to. Two, I have Cruise 360, and three, going to have some friends in town. Actually, friends in town that I think you guys will see on camera with me. Familiar faces will be in town. But that said, who knows? If the timing works out, maybe we're leaving Cruise 360 and sailways are happening, and we don't have anything else planned for the next couple of hours. So, you know, that was I pride myself on being able to use more words to say I don't know than anyone else. Tony, so the last couple have been kind of last minute just because the whole COVID thing, right? But we have more that we're going to be announcing soon. And each one that we announce will give more and more lead time for the next couple, because I know that's a factor for people. If there's a ship, a line, an itinerary, some type of experience that you would really like to see on a group cruise that we do, let me know. I'm all for hearing it because I want to do things that you guys want to do. So, send me a message if you have thoughts, ideas. Maybe you help shape the next Cruise Habit group cruise. Who knows? Kathy with the shameless plug link. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You can click right there on Kathy's link, or if you're looking at that and you're going, that's a lot to type in, and I can't click it because I don't know if you can, maybe, then virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com will take you there as well. Either one. Kathy, I appreciate that, as always. And I have the best viewers because several of you end up being my personal assistants, and that makes me feel a little guilty. But I'm a disaster, so I need you guys. Rest assured, though, that's why I have people like the hardworking people at Touring Plans Travel to help me with group cruises, because you wouldn't want me just doing this. I'd be on the wrong ship. It could happen. Allure of the Sea is now slowly backing her way into the turning basin, where she'll complete a turn to put her bow facing east and face out into the Stranahan River, which is this inlet here on the other side of the jetty. Technically, it's Stranahan. I don't think anyone actually calls it that. That's what it says on charts. Everyone else just calls it the entrance to the port. But she'll be once she's in that turning basin and then makes some forward speed, it should be no time at all, and then we'll get to watch what is the the fourth largest cruise ship in the world, sailing at least. Now there's another cruise ship that will carry potentially more people than any other ship, and she's in the midst of construction, but no one knows exactly what's going to happen, and that's because she's being built by Genting. Genting is a large company, I think technically based in Hong Kong. I don't remember how it's actually structured, but it had a piece in Crystal, which is why Crystal is no longer around, unfortunately, Crystal Cruises. And they had a really large ship under construction that was going to have the highest occupancy of any cruise ship in the world. And now it's at a shipyard and don't know what's going to happen. Kathy, you know what? Moderator gets a secret candy package or something. Well, not a secret anymore. Also, I think I have. Yeah, yes. I appreciate my friends, my viewers, my moderators, all three. Alan, generally don't like cruise line tours and excursions. You do private group excursions. You like those a lot more. It depends. I do a mixture. Sometimes I do ship excursions. Sometimes I do private excursions, and sometimes I just go off on my own. It's no type of organized thing. We're just getting into a car, or taking a walk, or renting a bicycle, or whatever. It depends on where we are. I'll tell you what I don't love doing most of the time are cruise line excursions that are like a large bus tour of people, and we're just dropping off, some group of 30, or maybe there were multiple buses, 120 at some place, and dumping off. I don't like that at all. So I don't generally do those type of things. Especially because with those, I can say, okay, for less money, I can go see the same places, but with fewer delays, um, because there aren't as many people and it's not as crowded, and with no shopping opportunities. Actually, I have a video on YouTube, things to watch out for when planning shore excursions. And one of the things I say is watch out for shopping opportunities. It's not an opportunity; it's like a delay every time. So I avoid those for those reasons. Now, if sometimes there might be a cruise line excursions like, oh, it's a catamaran tour, and sometimes they lock in a price that you unfortunately can't compete with, that other companies can't compete with, then I'll do something like that. Sure, that's great. That can be wonderful. And then again, sometimes I do things on my own. I can tell you that the excursion that we will be doing in Costa Maya for the Virgin Voyages group cruise is not through the cruise line. Joe, thank you. I appreciate you. Joe placed an order last week, I think during the live broadcast, right after the live broadcast, over at the Cruise Habit shop. I appreciate it very much. James Colgrave, Laura, your third cruise in 2017 had a boardwalk balcony and loved it. Really liked the Oasis class. I still want to do a boardwalk balcony. I thought I had a boardwalk balcony booked actually on this on Wonder. I don't know why I thought that. It's actually Central Park. But I've done Central Park and Ocean View balconies on Oasis class. One day I will do a boardwalk. Yeah. Joe, did you read on the site, social media, that you're planning a group cruise on Virgin Voyages adult-only cruise or something? Joe, indeed, Virgin Voyages groupcruise.com. We've got a group going on July 3rd. Larissa and I will be on another sailing, teasing that out in, I believe, May. I'll put those dates out in case anyone happens to be on board or want to hang out with us on that cruise. But July 3rd is the group cruise on Virgin Voyages. Scarlet Lady out of Miami, going to be going to Costa Maya, as well as the Beach Club at Bimini, which is Virgin's private destination, or exclusive destination, I should say, in Bimini. And we've got a video tour of the ship, as well as the Beach Club at Bimini. So yeah, head over to virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com and get a quote, see if it works for you, because there's going to be all sorts of there are going to be events that I can't mention yet because they are not things that other guests can book. Like no matter how much money they have, there are going to be experiences that are unique and custom tailored to us. There's going to be some, we're making sure you have plenty of extra cash also in your onboard account to cover drinks. I'm sure we'll have a cocktail party or two on board. So check it out. We'd love to have you guys. Yeah, Alan James. The last thing I want to do when I'm on an excursion, to be very honest, is get on one of those giant buses. Now, listen, if it's like a real quick, like, oh, this giant bus is just taking you to the city center, and then you're going, all right, whatever. But I'd much rather do something smaller group, just more convenient, or just do it on my own sometimes. Depends on the type of thing. I've got both articles and videos talking about whether you should do a private, like a third-party excursion, or a cruise line ship-sponsored excursion. And I dispel a lot of the myths and misunderstandings that people have about both of those options. There's not one that's inherently better or worse, but I like to, there are different considerations for me. That said, if someone wants to buy me an excursion, I'll happily take any excursion because the best excursions are free excursions. Which is another way of saying, join us on the Virgin Voyages group cruise, and guess what? That excursion will be free, and it won't be through the cruise line. Though, in fairness, I've heard good things about some of the excursions that Virgin's doing. Virgin calls them shore things, actually, which I think is a kind of a neat name. Some of the Virgin name things, I'll be honest, the Virgin Voyages, they've changed certain names for things just to be different. And I'm just like, why? Like they call their food hall kind of like their casual eatery, they call the galley. That was a problem even before I sailed on it, right? I was at a media preview. It was at night. Got invited to hang out on the ship for a nice evening, and it was really so cool. I had been so excited to see the ship, and it was great. Had a great time. Loved it. Hung out with good friends on there. Loved it. But my embarkation was a little delayed because out of thousands of people that were going on that tour, right, not that evening on the ship, things happen. So I'm calling Larissa, who's already on, and she's with a bunch of folks that you got. She's hanging out, I think, with Doug Parker, and who else is on board? There were a few others. I don't remember, but she's hanging out with a group of people, and I'm on the phone. I'm like, hey, I'm finally through. Where are you? And she says, we're going on a tour to the galley. And I thought, oh, that's cool. Getting a galley tour. And then I'm like asking people how to get to the galley, and they're just looking at me like, this doesn't seem right. Turns out the galley is what they call their casual eatery. So tangent, I know, about naming. But the dock is another one. My favorite spot outdoors, actually, on the Scarlet Lady, is called the dock. And in the most recent video that I just posted this morning, at one point Larissa's talking about it, and she says, you know, the sail away party on the dock. And I'm like, no. If you sail away party on the dock, you're on the wrong side of the water. You want to be on the ship for the sail away party, but it's actually a part of the ship. Sorry, that was a big tangent, but I just think their naming convention is funny. So short things. I think that's how that came up. Joe, glad you got the link there. Thank you, Kathy, once again for posting the link. Again, you can go to that link that she posted. I wonder, at some point, did I ever make that a thing? Hang on, let's see if I did this. Oh, that's not right. It's up in the corner. I did at one point make like an overlay. No, that one doesn't have the address. That said Virgin Voyages groupcruise.com, but I don't think it's on here. I should make sure I have that. I'll have that for the next broadcast I do. But yeah, that's the ship we'll be on, that one right there in the center. There's a photo from our last group cruise, hanging out on Celebrity Apex. No idea what Larissa's doing in that picture. I can now see Allure of the Seas coming around the bend. Joe, I've got a lot of videos about Scarlet Lady, including another one that just put out this morning, and I'm happy to answer any questions about what it's like cruising on Virgin Voyages. There's a lot of misinformation out there, kind of partially because just weird assumptions. Actually, I heard somebody say to Gene Sloan on the very first on the Mermaiden voyage. Gene and I were talking from the Points guy, and he said a woman I asked a woman how the cruise is going, and she said, I thought there would be a lot more nudity. It's like, what? Yeah, I don't know. So there's a lot of accidental misinformation about Virgin, and a lot of stuff that changed since their Mermaiden. We've been 3 times so far, and every time there's stuff different because they've been so good about responding to guest feedback. It's one of the things I'm looking forward to when we sail again in May before the group cruise. Because so some stuff that people experience, they've adapted, they've improved, they've changed based on guest feedback, and that's always good for any cruise line. So there she is, Allure of the Seas, the very first Royal Caribbean ship that I ever sailed. I don't have, I've once again put my notes in an unknown place, so I'll tell you from memory that she comes in at about 225,000 tons. That makes her currently the 4th largest ship, cruise ship in the world by interior volume. Here are my notes. She's heading off for 6 nights, going to Cozumel, Roatan, and Costa Maya. If you're going to Costa Maya, by the way, highly recommend checking out Maya Chan Beach Resort. We've got a video about that property. It's a fantastic place where we go almost every time we go to Costa Maya, because it's like going to a friend's house. If your friend has a place, a beautiful place in a rustic area of Mexico, and serves amazing food and drinks. So that's what we like doing. Joe, yeah, send me an email, bill@cruisehabit, or you can fill out. There's a contact form over on the website. Either one, that'll get to me. I just realized I owe someone else an email that I didn't reply to. Uh-oh. I'll have to fix that. Deep pouring on Allure of the Seas. She's been sailing since December 1st of 2010. She is the 2nd Oasis class ship, sister ship to Wonder of the Seas, which we were just on the maiden voyage of 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Look at my time. Gross tons, 1,187 by 198 feet, carrying a maximum of 6,300 passengers at full capacity and 2,400 crew. Each of the Oasis class ships is slightly longer than the last. Not sure anything, or they just measure in warmer weather. But I'm sure the marketing team loves it. She is 2 inches longer than Oasis of the Seas, the first Oasis class ship. What you're seeing there on the left is the Aqua Theater. Aqua Theater is an area that leads into the boardwalk, and there are really cool like high dive shows and all sorts of neat stuff in the Aqua Theater. It's an outdoor show with there's a pool and there are fountains and there are acrobatics, and it's a really neat and unique thing to see anywhere. Never mind on a cruise ship. Creations by Mandy will be sailing on Allure in November. I just heard something, and I'm going to give it a small chance that we're going to see Allure turn back in a little while. Who knows? I just heard a medical emergency on board. Interesting. Allure is in November. Um, November, man, I need to figure out my November in a pretty bad way. I've got like 3 cruises I'm supposed to do in November, and I think 2 of them are the same week, so clearly that's not going to work the way I'd like it to. I'm sorry, looking back at the screen now. Joe, booked your reservation at Lytton Beach because of the video. Told Mark, found them because of me. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I get nothing from them, but I like them to know that I appreciate them. So whenever I tell you guys about like a day resort like that, or a hotel, or a restaurant, somebody just told me they went to blanking the name, a restaurant that we really like in Cozumel that's kind of near the airport. Um, It'll pop in my head after I end this video. But somebody just sent me a message and said, "Hey, we went to that restaurant. Thanks so much for recommending it." Whenever I say those things, it's not because like they're not sponsoring. There's no kickback. It's just because I tell you guys about places that I really like, and I'm always happy to hear places that you guys really like, so I can discover new places. That's how I find a lot of these places. Is your recommendation? Awesome. Thank you as well, Tony, for doing the same. Appreciate that. Oddly, it seems it's mostly when this happened several times. Oasis class ships, if they're at a certain spot along here because of the boardwalk and the Aqua Theater, if they make an announcement, you can hear it pretty clearly. So I actually heard them call Alpha right as they were going through there. True story about that. And I don't like to fixate on when there are medical things on cruise ships. Somebody's having a real bad day at a real bad time. So I don't like to fixate on that stuff. But I will tell you guys a funny story. I don't know if I'm on camera right now or not. Maybe. We'll assume that I have a monitor out here. I don't put one because I stare into the sun when it's this late in the day, so it doesn't matter. But years ago, it was my very first time on Disney Dream. And we're sailing out of Port Canaveral. And Larissa and I were walking around the ship. We'd just left the dock. And I came downstairs, sat at a flight of stairs, and I thought, okay, I need to come around this and make a right. And then I saw the water moving by. I saw the direction we're going. I had, you know what? No, I guess we have to make a left. I thought I already figured out the layout, my way around the ship, and it turns out I didn't, because I would expect the water to be moving the other way, right? So, oh well, not as good at this as I thought. So eventually, we find the place we're looking for on the ship, and then they came on the PA. And they said on the Disney Dream that day that there was a medical emergency and we were going back. Well, the sail away from Port Canaveral, it's a long trip from the pier to the open water. So instead of going out and then turning around, they just like stopped and threw it in reverse. So it turns out I actually did know my way around the ship. We're sailing away in reverse. That's my probably not that interesting story. For more not interesting stories, be sure to like and subscribe. That's the last one for today, guys. The last cruise ship out of Port Everglades today. And I really appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Again, a couple things I want you guys to remember. One, This is a labor of love, so I just do sincerely appreciate everyone for tuning in. It really does mean the world to me that you guys come, you hang out. I enjoy talking ship with all of you guys. You make my days much better. So I appreciate all of you. And if you want me to appreciate you even more, share. Share stuff that you find on cruisehabit.com. Share stuff from our YouTube channel. Share with other people that will find the information useful or that will find my rambling somewhat amusing, whatever the case may be, because that's just more people that really make my day. So I really sincerely, I hope everyone remembers that. I appreciate that. The other thing I want you to remember, related kind of, is check out the video that we posted earlier today. If you were even thinking about going on Virgin Voyages, whether it's Scarlet Lady, Valiant Lady, or upcoming Resilient Lady, because we've had a lot of people asking us about Virgin Voyages. So Larissa and I, we said, you know what? We got to make a video specifically with the things that we keep telling people. Hey, make sure you do this. Make sure you don't do this. So it's 7 do's and don'ts for sailing Virgin Voyages. We've got an article on cruisehabit.com with that, and we've got it in video form over on the YouTube channel. So check that out. And yeah. Oh, and then of course, last but definitely not least, make sure that you tune in on Tuesday night. If you already like us on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube, you may already have a notification about this. If not, you will. Tuesday night, 9 p.m. We're going to be going live with other cruise content creators, with friends. So we're going to be with Cruising with JT, Anchors Anyway, NYC Rocks, Guga and Rob, and Parker's on the Go. And I'm really excited because there are so many people making great cruise content out there, and some of them are the big guys, right? That have 100,000 followers, awesome people. Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog, Justin from Jay from Ship Life, Tony, Don, people that I know we all watch, and that's awesome. There are a lot of people putting together really good stuff that are fun people that have a lot to share, experience to share, different perspectives to share, and I want to make sure that we all tune in to enjoy everything that they have to share about cruising as well. So we're going to get together with a big simulcast. We'll be putting it on all of our channels at the same time, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. This Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So be sure. I think the goal of the conversation, the topic is going to be Wonder of the Seas, because we all sailed on Wonder of the Seas on our maiden recently. So we talked about that. But I suspect, if only because I'm there and I cannot stay on topic, they'll be discussing other things as well. So tune in. Yeah, that's going to do it. Appreciate you guys so very much. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your weekend. Don't hesitate to reach out on social media or in the comments section, cruisehabit.com, or on our YouTube videos if you have any cruise questions, recommendations, or otherwise. You guys mean the world to me, and I look forward to talking ship with you again real soon.